The question, why do you like David Lynch's films, is rather heavy. What specifically about David Lynch's films grabs you the most? Is it the surrealist nature? Is it the questions that are asked but never answered? Is it the artistic nature of the films that you're watching in front of you? Rather than trying to answer these questions for you, I'll let you know why I think I love David Lynch's films. And then maybe you'll come to your own conclusions. The reason I love David Lynch's films and Twin Peaks, and then subsequently Fire Walk with Me, comes down to mostly three parts: the surrealism, the questions asked but never answered, and the art of it all. I'm going to kind of dive into those three things. First, the surrealism. Part of what makes most David Lynch films is how every line of dialogue, every shot, and every setup is completely surreal up until the point where he specifically wants you to understand certain things, which I think is part of what makes his films so good compared to other films in this genre. He makes this entire film surreal, yet you feel like you are in complete control of what he wants you to think and feel. However, it's up to you to decide even if you want to understand or can understand what he wants you to think in the first place, which I think is what adds to his ability to create such surrealistic stories, while also maintaining control of what he wants his audience to feel. What makes this movie different in terms of surrealism compared to other films, his surrealism is mixed with a very legitimate understanding of a lot of the plot and how to tell a very narrative story while still being inside that surrealistic nature. Whereas I think some surrealism films go very far into surrealism and forget to kind of thread plot lines into the surrealism like he does. Not that I can understand every David Lynch film, but I think there's something I can understand better about his films than other films in this genre. The next thing I want to talk about is how he asks questions in his films that the only way to get an answer is by you applying yourself to that question. What I mean is, I think there's so many things that he asked and questions that he puts up in the air that he kind of answers throughout his surrealism, but not in a way that can denounce what you feel about it, but in a way that, rather, the director's asking the question, what do you think about this? What do you feel about this? What do you think he was trying to say? Which I think opens up a broader kind of conversation about a question rather than having a very definitive answer. He asks the questions, brings the questions to you, but it's up to you to kind of put all the puzzle pieces together and try to figure out what he's even talking about, and kind of like what he feels about all these different ideas, still without telling you directly what he's actually feeling or talking about. I think the other thing that I personally really love about his films is that you can tell that he's making a piece of art and that art is up for interpretation. But he's creating a piece of art, and it is first and foremost a piece of art like any other medium would be, painting or drawing or anything else like that. There's this art to his films, and that's what makes David Lynch so singular, and not something the world will see for a very long time. When he created films, he used it like an art medium, not like a film or a narrative structure. It was a piece of art as if it was a drawing or a structure or a painting. Anything he was creating for art was for the sake of art. And I think that's what makes his films so different. What do you think about David Lynch's films? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you understand anything that's going on? Leave some of your theories about some of his different films in the comments down below, and while you're down there, like and subscribe. That would mean everything to me. If you'd like to, it is at MediaByteCo on TikTok and at MediaByte Company on Instagram. Make sure to listen to all of the podcasts on the MediaByte Podcast Network. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Peace.